Okie dokie, we are back. When I exited the game, I used the camp button here, which saves all of your progress, and as long as you're not in combat, is the best way to get out of the game. If you are in combat and you need to exit the game immediately, you can just click retreat. That'll save all of your progress, but you'll drop some of your stuff like resources and such. But it gets you out of the game instantly. So ideally, use camp whenever you can if you're out of combat. And if you are stuck in combat for whatever reason, if you enter town, safe town here, basically you should exit combat. And if another way is like if you hit the flee, that should also get you out of combat. And you have to be out of combat to do things like change your spells, turn in quests and such, pick up items off the floor. Generally, you have to be out of combat for that. So anyway, let's go hunt and get some loot and power. So just looking at my current loadout here, I've got it's like midday. I have food and rest lasting until tomorrow. Full health, full mana. My buffs are here. The pet looks good. I think I forgot to mention that these hotkeys here for your pet, you could use the keybind as well. So attack is R, follow is X, and eventually your pet will have the ability to AoE with his melee attack. Right now that's not unlocked. And let's see, so let's just go hunting. Now that we have all of our first 4 spells here, let's just go as far as we can go to the left here, which I believe is basically south. So if you look, there's actually a compass here. So let's just go that way and see where it gets us. You can see that the mage is still dead. He did not respawn until I guess it's going to be Wednesday would be my guess. This guy is a wandering enemy, so they respawn not on game time, but in real world time. So like say every 15 minutes that the game is running, these pathers or wanderers will respawn. So sometimes you'll experience an enemy on your route. And the other thing you can see here is that he's annoyed with us. And this is really just a tracker of how many times we've killed this particular enemy. And every time you kill the same enemy more than once, it's going to go ahead and this number is going to keep increasing. And they will actually get stronger and larger each time you kill them. So I'll start off here with this new spell, Oil, which is a 30-second snare. So, I could effectively now kite this guy around. And, if you wanted to, turn off your pet's taunt so that, he doesn't draw too much aggro. And then you could, effectively kite some enemies too. So for now, I'll leave the taunt on. But situationally, you can develop some strategies like that. So coming up over this hill, I could zoom my camera way out and kind of take a little peek around. You can see off on the horizon here is some lizard people, and up on the hill are humanoids. So, these factions actually hate each other. But coming up over here, there's a new enemy type we haven't seen before. He's basically Bugman, and he's got his own unique abilities. And then also, you can see here's a wanderer enemy. Wandered into me, so he went ahead and cast lightning bolt on me and really try to kill this guy. So I tried to snare him, that didn't work. I resisted that. So now I'm just gonna pound him down with these combos. You can see that he's like almost entirely immune to decay, so there's no sense trying to hit him in there. And he is actually a mage type enemy. Like he does not chase into melee range. He stand back and cast magic if possible. But there we go, we took him out. So we got this guy here. This one's, you can see that now I'm waiting for my mana to regenerate, and this food here actually helps recover it quicker. So I think if you could, maybe it's going up by, say, 15% per tick. Yeah, 15% per tick. So if I go ahead and send my pet in, open up with a fireball here, I hit him really good. And this enemy is unique, so he walks slow by default. And what he does, he spawns these gas clouds, and then he also shoots these kind of explosive bombs. So if you walk into these, you're going to take damage, and then also the cloud of smoke that basically poisonous is affects everybody in the range. So you can see that it's actually hitting this neutral guy over here. It's hitting himself. It's hitting my pet. And eventually he could actually kill himself from that too. And it's pretty dangerous when there's a bunch of them dropping those AoE clouds. So moving over here, there is this item that we can pick up, which was very cool. This is a spell unlock slot. So if you bring this to the Mage Tower in town, you could unlock an additional spell slot. So that'll be super helpful. And then you can also see up here on this ledge, there's some higher level enemies. There's a level 3, what's that, level 4. And if I wanted to, I could jump up there and I could fight these. But I'm going to say fight these humans for a minute. Let's see. So this guy looks like I could grab him because he wandered away from the mage. So I could fight him by his lonesome. Shooting a fireball here. He rooted me with his axe. I'm now stuck in place for 4 seconds, but you can see these level 1s are going down pretty easy. So the idea here is to just kind of clear through and collect all the easy loot that we get, power up our guy. We're going to go ahead and just turn these guys. Oh, you can also see that as I'm trying to attack, if I get hit, it doesn't pass me. So, for example, you got this 2-second cast time or what have you. If you get hit, it'll slow it down and cause you to lose time. And then if you're actually moving when you get hit, you don't simply lose time, but you actually interrupt the entire cast. So you could be 90% of the way through the cast, and if you're running around while casting, the risk you take is that you'll be completely interrupted by an enemy attack. All right, so we got another spider egg. So we're really kind of getting some cool stuff up. And then now I think we got our first piece of gear. So right now, the game's not entirely itemized or balanced in any way, but here's one of the first weapons that you can get. So this thing has a bunch of stats on it, probably too powerful at the moment, but the important one is the weapon damage there is 20. So if we equip that, our attack, which used to say do 15 because we weren't wearing a weapon, is now going to have a base of 20. So all of our attacks will kind of start off with that weapon damage now. And then there's a bunch of other stats on there like critical mind power, which increases your spell damage, a whole bunch of mastery, which increases our effectiveness against different enemies. And you can see it's getting dark now. So we're just going to keep clearing. There's some enemies down there, enemies over here. This one's a level 2. So let's pull him with the snare. We'll put poison on him, which was a miss. So just wait a second here. I'll put it on him again. You can see he's dodging, which allows him to take way less damage when he's in the dodge mode. But where it looks like I have no problem killing him. There's another thing that when you're using this melee attack, you start developing these combos here. So the first time you attack, you do your base damage of say 20. So here, let me pull this guy, and I'll show you what that looks like. And then the second time you attack, you do a little bit more damage, and the third time even more. And then on that third attack, you actually create a debuff on him, which reduces his chance to hit you. So he actually hits really hard, and I've now missed him twice in a row. All right, so there's my first combo. There's my second combo, and if I get him with this third one, you'll see that he's now debuffed, and that debuff makes his chance to miss minus 20%, so it's likely to hit now. You can see that he just got a miss, so I'm going to go ahead and kite him for a second, and I could use a long jump to get away, and you can see this, well, he's trying to come at me, because I have too much aggro. But he's snared, and I can just tag him in the back. So you can see, starting to find some slightly harder level enemies here, level 3. And these grunts are kind of the easiest ones. Okay, so that was actually kind of unfortunate. It's Wednesday, and all of these humanoids just respawned. So you can see that the insects are still dead that I just cleared, but basically the whole path back to town is now repopped because all of these guys that are humanoids respawn on Wednesday. You can see the ranger that was here is still dead because he's a patrol and he respawns, say, every 15 minutes or so. But these guys that defend resources respawn on the day timer. So we get to kill him again. So I will start off with the snare, hit him with the poison. I can use Comet. Okay, so the enemy just used that spell Confusion, which is pretty cool. It basically causes him to drop aggro with whoever his highest aggro person is, which in this case was the pet. So he immediately turned and started running after me, but luckily the pet had another taunt sleeve there to get that aggro back. And then you can see he was also using that dodge ability, which reduces the damage he takes for a couple seconds. So let's go ahead and turn through this guy again. You can see now that he's level 3, as these bars are getting smaller, most of my hits are showing up as, say, weak. Because this spell by default, poison for example, is supposed to hit for 30 or something. But since this guy has a whole bunch of decay resistance, the ability actually does less than you would expect. And I'll show you example that here when I look in the spell book. So this thing is supposed to tick for 34 a hit, and it was only hitting him, if you look at the combat log, for 11. So, based on how much decay mastery he has, our ability is not doing as much as expected. And there's actually a button here called info that has some debug info in here, so I can go in and check and see that, he actually has 47 decay mastery. And if I were to compare that to my own 27, you can get an idea for why when I use decay, it's not as efficient against him as we would expect. So that's kind of how that works. And then what you see here is this guy was defending a new spell. So that's pretty nice. We'll go ahead and grab that. And if we look in our spell book now, and we'll have a new ability called Lightning Strike, which is elemental based. So, if we wanted to go deeper into the elementals abilities, we could put a couple of these on our bar. But you see we only have 4 slots at the moment, so we kind of had to lose the snare spell as a result. So, we have to decide if that's worth it for the enemy types we're fighting. But I could also go ahead and pick this guy up, and you'll see that he was on my back, and now I only have 6 endurance, so have to decide whether or not I really want to carry this thing around with me or if I want to drop it and leave it for later. So for right now, we just take a look and see. We got a level 2. We got some crystals, I like those. And then over here we got this barrel, and over here we got some gold. So let's try. I'm gonna go back into my spell book and get the snare spell back. And then what I will do is I'm gonna snare the big guy, send in my pet. That did not work well. Dodge this attack, which did not work. We try to snare him, then run away. And then get back on the mage here. So all this guy's kind of chasing after me. Looks like we could just knock this mage out. Oh, you can see the projectile hit the frame of the tent, which was not very good for me. So this guy will poison him finally, and I can pick up some of this endurance, which might be helpful. And then we just gotta start chipping away. We should be able to get that. Oh, I missed my fireball. Oh wow, the fireball actually. Alright, so let me snare him so that he doesn't run away and get us in trouble. So you can see I'm completely out of mana now, but since I have the well fed here, I'm gonna regenerate at like say 15% every tick, which is helpful. And then I can go ahead and claim my prize here, which was this barrel. And it is a barrel of beer, and it is helpful for a quest at the innkeeper. So we'll just save that for now. And then start picking up some of this other stuff here. So we've got another artifact. We can go up this direction, but looks like we've got level 3s, and then up on this hill, there's another level 3. If I go look this direction, I can get another spider egg. That might be helpful. And then I'll take out this level 2, I think, so that should be pretty easy. So I'm going to snare him, hit him with the poison, dodge that axe that he's throwing at me, queue up a fireball, and then just run up and hit him in the face. Oh, nope, I can't hit him in the face because I'm carrying too much. So we're just going to have to burn him down the old-fashioned way. And we're good. As soon as the root fades, I should be able to go get this spider egg, which is nice. And then what I'll do is I'm just going to drop my backpack right here so I can get my endurance back and fight more effectively. And this level 4, I mean, this guy might kick the crap out of us, so we'll see. We'll try to snare him. I'm going to put poison on him. I'm going to turn off my pet's taunt. And then I'm just going to try to do some damage to keep him attacking me instead of, say, my pet. And I could run in and hit him in the face, even though it's not super effective because of the level he is. But basically, I'm getting free hits in while my pet's poking back. And then this poison will just keep kind of ticking away. So we'll see how this goes for us. I think we'll take him out. Okay, so that one attack from him just did he crit 150 damage, so we don't want to risk getting hit another one of those. I'm gonna put my pet's taunt on, just get this off me. Oh wait, no, he's fleeing. Oh, when enemies are fleeing, your physical attacks have 100% chance to crit, so it's always good to kind of just run up behind them and hit them if you can. So let's go ahead and grab this backpack. And over here is a artifact. And there's kind of like a little mini boss guy over here. You can see he's got a little silly hat on. This guy is level 4, so these guys are starting to be a little too challenging. We would probably want to, get some more gear, upgrade our town, get some new spells. So let me go ahead and grab this spider egg. And I don't want to accidentally walk into one of those bad guys, but I'm just trying to take a look around and see what else there is over here that we can maybe sneak before getting in trouble. So at the moment, the entire map is not 100% populated. You can see this is empty tent and, kind of sparse enemies. Just haven't gotten around to fully populating the entirety of the map. So just going to use this to my advantage here and grab some stuff. But you can also see that off into the distance here are some another faction. This is the hill giant faction, I guess you would say. And they're just wandering around. And we're kind of just circling around the backside of the town. I happen to know that the town is over that way, so we could, rather than approaching the town by backtracking, we could kind of circle around this mountain here and maybe enter it from the back. But this guy, this level 4, he'll probably kick my ass, so I'm going to avoid him. And then I'm just kind of circling around. Okay, so level 4, that's a pretty challenging fight. This guy up here is a level 3, we'll probably take him. So I think what I'll do is just drop my bag here so that I could punch him in the face if I wanted to. And then we're going to send in the pet. And we're going to hit some fireballs. Maybe not out of the way of his fireball. And then just unload on him here with all of my fireballs. He's also got some other abilities. You can see he's Ignite on my pet, which is actually a nuke, a damage over time component. So I'm gonna hopefully kill him before he does me in. It looks like he's wrecking my pet. So we'll see. Right, so now that he's fleeing, I'm just going to switch to meleeing him. Save some. So then over here we have Wishing Well, which actually, if you find Lucky Charms out in the world and bring them back here, you could increase your character's base luck stat. And luck feeds into everything random in the game. So any random roll in the game will be improved by luck. whether that's like your loot or your critical strike chance or your chance to flee or any random roll. So I think I could sneak over here and grab some King's Push. And then the idea would be to sneak into the town. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this bag back home. And I think I'll do that by jumping in the water over here and swimming to town. So we just entered the town from the backside. And it's night. So first thing first, get rid of all this loot. Drop it off. We take a look and see what we can buy. So you can see I need a quest, need a quest, need a quest. This one I need some gold, so my priority should be go find some gold. But now that we have $40, I can go and upgrade some spells. I could turn some artifacts and improve my health and strength. And I could also take a nap here and get my well-rested buff. Maybe even make some more food. So here, I'll just go ahead and take a nap. Push the next day. So now I've got my extra mastery and endurance, which is helpful. And then over here, I can, let's see, maybe cook some fish. Yeah, so we'll cook some fish, which requires some of the items that we looted while we were out exploring. These stinky herbs here and the fish. And we can combine those to make a really good, tasty fish cake, which will further increase our health and mana regen while out of combat, kind of the whole mana regen process. And then it also looks like I probably should have turned this in. This is a quest for the innkeeper here that will give me a better, well-rested buff that'll last through 2 deaths or 2 days. So you don't have to visit town quite as often. So if I go ahead and turn that in, you'll actually see that if I were to go to the innkeeper now, he would give me a better nap than previously.